Welcome in the video lecture series of operating system. Myself Avadhut Dixit from IIT Ayodhya. And now today we are going to discuss very important topic, that is address translation in contiguous memory allocation. In our earlier videos we have already discussed what is the contiguous memory allocation techniques, how the content is stored into the memory, what are different kinds of allocations techniques, fixed partitioning and variable partition techniques, and we have also discussed the policies used to map the process into the memory. And that policies was first fit, best fit and worst fit policies. All we have already told you in our previous videos. And now today is a very important topic, how address is translated in contiguous memory allocations. How address translation is done. So as we know that CPU, this is the main memory and the secondary memory. That secondary memory is much larger than main memory, and secondary memory hold all the program or processes. So first of all, a CPU will generate a logical address. The CPU generates a logical address as per the size of the process into the secondary memory, and that logical address gets mapped into the physical address, and this physical address is available into the main memory. Main memory address is known as the physical address. So this is the whole process of the address translation. Secondary memory here plays very important role. Size of secondary much more, but the access speed of the secondary memory is lower, and CPU always execute the instructions from the main memory. That's why and second thing, main memory size is smaller than the secondary memory. That means main memory cannot have much processes at a time, running time, but it only hold those processes which currently required by the CPU. So first of all, our program or processes are stored into the secondary memory, and CPU generate a logical address as per the size of these process, and then this logical address get mapped into the physical address in the main memory, and we CPU access them. So this is the whole process. And now the look the diagram here. It is a main memory and it is a secondary memory, you can say. Secondary memory. Main memory contains all the information. Main memory contains only the information or the process which currently need to execution by the CPU, and the secondary memory hold all the programmer processes. Now a logical address is always generated by the CPU, and this logical address will be generated as per the size of the process stored in the secondary memory. For example, let in secondary memory a process P1 is here, and it have 200 instructions. 200 instruction. Let here address of this is I 1 2 3 4 5 and so on. Address of this I, then I plus 1, then I plus 2, and I plus 199. I plus 199. So a process P1 which, which is also in secondary memory, and we have already studied that process P1 can easily be mapped because due to the contiguous memory allocation, a base address is shifted and the size. In contiguous memory allocation technique, shifting is very easy because if we know the base address and the size of the process, that can be easily transferred into the main memory. Let it transfer at the address number 500. Then it will be what? 500, 501, 502 and so on, and what will be 699, and same process P1 is here into the secondary memory. Then mapping in contiguous memory location very easy in comparison to the non-contiguous memory location technique, where a process is divided in many chunks, many small parts, and the process may not be stored at a single place. They may be stored at different places into the memory, secondary memory. Then that is very difficult to map. But in the contiguous memory location, mapping is very easy, and we have already discussed fixed and variable partitioning scheme. Generally, we use earlier used variable partition scheme after the 60s. Now, the mapping is easy, and right now, when a CPU want to execute some instructions. Now let's assume that instruction number 110 need to execute it, and this instruction, what is this? Is the logical address. This is a what? Logical address. That means instruction number 110 need to access from the memory. So first of all, now we are here ignoring here, we just tell you about this letter. Now look here, what is the reallocation register? Actually, reallocation register contains the starting address of the process into the main memory. Here starting address of the process into the main memory is 500. Now the starting address is 500. It is not necessary that the 500 address will be in the secondary memory. In the secondary memory, the starting address of the process may or may not be different. May, for example, let it is starting address is 100. They may be different. That's why it is known as the reallocation register. Reallocation register always hold the starting address of the process into the main memory. So first of all, if CPU want to execute any instructions from this process, then their logical address 110 instructions address here added with the reallocation register, that here, and 511 500 plus 110 means 610 will be actual the physical address. That means here 1110 register address instruction will be here. The physical address is 610, whereas the logical address is 1110. Now here this reallocation register address is added with the instruction address, and we find the actual location into the main memory. Well, this is the process of finding out any instructions from the main memory. Now, but what is the role of your limit register? Actually, limit register here used to prevent the intentional or non-intentional fraud by a process. For example, if any process want to assess some instruction which are beyond the boundary of that process, then this limit register will prevent them, and that may be intentionally or unintentionally. Here, what limit register do? Actually, the value of limit register will be equal to the size of this process. Size of this process. Here, limit register is equal to 200. So, first of all, when any instructions came here and that instruction want to access from the main memory, then first of all it will test either 110 is less than 200 or not. If it is yes, then that will be added to the reallocation register and makes a physical address and will access. Otherwise it will be trapped. That means it will trap and discarded. For example, if a CPU here want to a process here want to access a 220 address instruction, but we know there is no need 200 because size of 200. So look here, it will compare the 220 not less than, it will be trapped. That means that the instruction request will be discarded by the CPU and will not execute. So this is for the safety purposes, security purpose of the process. That means any process cannot access the other area instructions intentionally or unintentionally. So that is a role of the limit register. The role of the limit register, role of reallocation register is a very important, and that makes the address translations, and this is the translation addresses and required by the accessing particular instructions. And now here we are just taking an example which request will be executed and which request will not. Look here, there are 4 processes: process P1, process P2, process P3 and process P4. Process P4 limit register is 500 and reallocation register is 1200. Now look here, if this request of the process P1 to access instruction number 550 will be granted or not. Now look here, 550 is greater than 500. That means this request cannot be granted. Not granted means it is a trapped. Now look here, here limit register is 200 and required instructions is 170 number instructions, then it is 170 less than 200. That means it can be granted. That means instructions number will be mapped and their physical address will be, translated address will be here 880 plus 170, that is equal to 0, 5, 1050. And now look here, that means this instruction of the process P2 will be executed or will be translated. Now P3 is here, request 450 and limit register size is 418. Definitely 450 is not less than 418. Then the request P2 will not granted. That means it will be trapped. And similarly here limit register is 275, request instructions is 120. Definitely 120 less than 275. This will be granted and the physical address will be equal to 200 plus 120 is equal to 320. So by this way the address translations work in contiguous memory location. So in contiguous memory allocation, address translation is also very easy in comparison to the non-contiguous allocations, and memory allocation of the memory is easier than the non-contiguous memory locations. But here there are some limitations also, because in non-contiguous memory locations, a process size, a process divided in many chunks, and that can be easily transferred, that can be easily managed. But here a size of process can be bigger, and transformation of the bigger process is not easier. So now our next video we will discuss on non-contiguous memory allocations technique. Now thank you for watching this video.